Peace, peace. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, the People's Healer. And as you can see, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? 2020, baby. 2020. This is the revamp. You know what I'm saying? We back. We live and direct for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? We're going in. You know, I had to take a little break, which is my hermit mode. You know, so the last video, you can see I was encouraging everybody to, you know, go into hermit mode and the importance of hermit mode. And what exactly was hermit mode? You know what I mean? So I'm going to touch on it a little bit in this video. You know, hermit mode is basically, you know, withdrawing from society, withdrawing from pretty much the outside world to go within to find that spiritual seeking, you know, that spiritual knowledge, that spiritual wisdom, your spiritual self, aka your higher self. You know what I'm saying? So when you come back out, you be back refreshed, baby. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, 2020, it's a whole lot going on already. You know what I'm saying? We're in a full moon right now. Mercury Retrograde is over. So that's another reason why, you know, I decided to, you know, drop a video and come back today, because Mercury Retrograde is now over with, y'all. And for everybody that don't know what a retrograde is, I'm going to break it down real quick. A retrograde is basically when you go into hibernation, or a planet goes into hibernation. Think about it. We do it as humans, plants do it, animals do it, as above, so below, right? So planets, they do the same thing. So whenever a planet is going in retrograde, it appears to be moving backwards in some way, shape, or form, right? So with that being said, Mercury, the planet of thinking, communication, short travels, and, you know, the way we think and the way we analyze, it was kind of appear to be moving backwards. So with that being said, that affects us because the way we think, the way we communicate is kind of past tense. You see what I'm saying? Because it appears to be moving backwards. So our thinking, the way we think, the way we analyze, the way we look at details, is kind of sort of, we're looking at the past in those situations. Like, so, you know, for instance, like if you, like lately during a retrograde, you probably realize how much a lot of the past you was thinking about, or a lot of past things was coming up. Or when you was doing stuff, you probably had a thought in your mind like, dang, I remember when I did this, this happened. You see what I'm saying? Or a lot of people from your past maybe came up during that time. You know, so that's just a real quick breakdown on a retrograde and what a retrograde is. So now that that's over and Mercury is about to go direct, it's kind of like, instead of thinking past tense, it's like we own it now. You know what I mean? Instead of like, you know, looking over the details before we do something, that's a retrograde. Like you do something and you kind of you analyze it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't, the thing about a retrograde is, if you don't look at those details, or if you don't step back and reflect on it, you're going to mess up. And then that's when you get to everybody talking about, oh my God, Mercury retrograde, this is what's going on. But no, what you really need to do is slow down, like the planet. So slow your thinking down, reflect, process on it, and look at the details. That's Mercury retrograde. Now Mercury is direct. So we're pretty much going to be on it. Now we're going to write something, look at it real quick and we're gone. We're going to be good now, you know what I mean? Because the planet is not a retrograde no more. Now it's going to direct. So, you know, that's what's been going on more so in the astrological world. You know, the weather forecast for the planets and stuff like that. Also, the full moon is, we can say tonight, but yesterday was the real, March 9th was the, you know, the day of the full moon. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's still the full moon, but it's kind of winding down just a little bit. But it's still full moon energy, which means what? That means our emotions and our feelings are extreme. See what I'm saying? Think of the moon like the womb. Think about it when a woman is pregnant. When a woman is pregnant, she's ready to release. So whenever there's a full moon, as above, so below. Think about it the same way. Like, it's time to release our emotions and feelings. This is why emotions are extreme. And if you are into astrology, you will know that the moon represents our emotions and feelings and our reactions to life. So the way we react and respond during the full moon will be very, very extreme, and emotions will be heightened. Now, depending on what sign the moon is in, that's what lets you know how the moon and how we should react or how we should not react. Like the full moon was in Virgo. So we will probably be extremely emotionally tied to our responsibilities. We will be extremely emotionally tied to the details in our life. So we may overanalyze it too much. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be trying to like, basically like clean up our life too much. But during the new moon, if you was already planting good seeds, during the full moon, you're just experiencing it. And that's every new moon and every full moon. That's something we got to understand real quick. The new moon is about manifesting and planting new seeds and things like that. So when the full moon get here, we're able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, what we planted, right? See what I'm saying? So like, it's real simple, man. You know, it's not that hard. And y'all know on my channel, I'm trying to break everything down to the easiest point. That's That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? Whatever it is we're talking about, we're going to break it all the way down. We're going to go all the way deeply into it. You know what I mean? We're going to see the root of it. Then we're going to break it down and make it simple. Make knowledge fun again. Make wisdom fun again. Make learning fun again. You know? The people's healer, baby. But, you know, so back to it. And it also was a worm moon. So it's a whole lot to it, man. You look at the full moon, look at what type of full moon it was, and all that type of stuff, and you can, like, you know, correlate it with yourself and see how you want to react and respond to whatever, you know what I mean? But that's my little breakdown on the moons. The sun is in Pisces still. We're still in the Pisces season. So, you know, this is our actions, though. You know, y'all know the sun is our actions. So we acting very, very in a spiritual sense, you know what I'm saying? And then we also got to know that this is the end. This is really the end of the year. Especially if you're into astrology, you know what I mean? Look at it right here. Hold on, wait. See, there's Aries right here. Here's Pisces. It's like the end. Like we right here. Y'all know what I'm saying? The sun is like right here. Now we're transitioning into a new year. Why do I say a new year? Because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. You know what I'm saying? AKA the spring equinox, March 21st, the spring equinox. Y'all feel me? So right now we're right here. We're going into the spring equinox, which is the real new year. You know what I mean? Especially in the space and time up there. You know what I mean? The zodiac, right? We're going into a new year, the spring equinox. AKA, this is what time sprung forward. Spring forward. You know what I mean? And you can also just look at it like this is the end of the winter. Which is pretty much like the death, like going through the depth of things. Like if you go outside, you look at the trees and all that, you know, it's dead. Like you ever seen, oh, this grass right here is dead. You know, because this is the winter time. But when it's springing everything forward. You're putting life into it, like the rebirth. You know what I mean? Like this is like an example of the death and the rebirth right here. Like that's all Pisces is anyway. Let me break that down real quick. Pisces, the two fish is nothing but the number one fish really going in a circle, aka a cycle. You see what I'm saying? Rebirth, you know, because it's like the fish biting its tail. You see what I'm saying? But that fish is, you know, dying or whatever, and then, you know, Aries spring up. You know, that's why Aries is all about impulse, all about energy, shit like that, because, you know, it's getting things started. You know, for instance, if you can go to Google right now and type in Aries, and it'll say Aries quote is "Let's get things started." New year, start of a new year. You know what I mean? Brink, like the start of a new year, like time for things to grow. Like for instance, during the springtime, that's when you see flowers and all that stuff coming right back up. It's popping back up. It's springing forward. Like the roots are springing up now. You know what I mean? Instead of the beginning of the winter, which is a cardinal sign, just like Capricorn. So we call that a square, a seasonal square. You see what I'm saying? And every seasonal square ties to a zodiac sign. The spring, we got Aries. The summer, you got Cancer, which is a cardinal sign. You know, these are squaring each other. These are seasons, though. Y'all feel me? Like tropical astrology. That's all this is. You know what I mean? The summertime is Cancer. Then we got the fall, which is Libra. The fall for Libra represents the middle of the zodiac. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about when you cut something in half, it'll fall apart. Like, you cut it in half. Like, you cut the zodiac in half, you get Libra. This is the fall right here. Y'all know what I mean? Then we got the death, which is Scorpio right after that. And then now, what is this other square to that? After that, you get the winter solstice. This is where everything done died. You know what I'm saying? So we in the middle of the death, like Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? We're initiating the winter time. We're initiating the new process or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's time to be inside or whatever. Be inside the house. That's why it's so cold and shit like that. That's when you got to be within. You know, I already explained the winter solstice on the last video. So, you know, I'm just breaking down the squares. The cardinal signs, which you got Aries, which is the spring, Cancer, which is the summer, fall, Libra, winter, Capricorn. Now we're going back to the spring, because we done went through the fall and the death period, and you know, going within the death, getting all the trees and stuff like that, and sparking things up to stay warm inside. Now it's time to come back outside. Y'all feel me? Aries. Now it's time to get things started for the year again. Y'all know what I mean? You know, so like I said, man, we got a whole lot going on. And what I've been doing a lot of, you can call it shadow work, you know. I've been studying and researching. Y'all know how I do it every day. But anyway, I got a whole lot of content. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I've been doing a whole lot of writing. I've been doing a whole lot of studying, a whole lot of researching and learning and living and experiencing. So I got a whole lot of content coming up, baby. And we're going to start off with self-love and relationships. The importance of self-love and a relationship. Because, you know, you learn yourself most in a relationship. If you didn't know that. I'm going to say it again. You learn yourself the most when in a relationship. Or when you relate to something else. That's you learning about you. Same thing. That's really the art of knowing yourself, knowing your surroundings, knowing things around you. Is nothing but a reflection of you. See? But we're going to go deep. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're going to start it out 2020, baby. Peace to y'all, man. One love.